Depressed Canadian, him, our crew, back in the fraught and paranoid days right after 9/11, and all the way into the first year of the Iraq War, the GOP would shut down any criticism or debate of their policies by shaming critics and public figures, by saying they were directly appeasing terrorists and knowingly inciting mass violence against Americans. This zero-sum absolutist tactic worked at least in the short term. Now the left is doing it to women who are simply criticizing the language. Well, I would say not at least in the short term. And I would also say probably in the midterm. And I would say even arguably in the long term. Part of the reason why you're going to see the defense authorization bill pass the Democratic House faster than you can blink an eye, with $50 billion extra above and beyond what the Pentagon asked for, Democrats are going to approve. So I would say it was effective in the short term, midterm, and I don't know what you consider long term, but that was 20 years ago. Okay, now the left is doing it to women who are simply criticizing the language used in the abortion debate and how it no longer centers women by saying they are directly and knowingly inciting mass suicides and violence.
Wait, what?
This tactic will scare people into agreement in the short term, but it will eventually burn more bridges than it ever builds. Well, first of all, your analogy doesn't work. But how about this? I mean, personally, this is what I think it should be. These abortion bans will affect women and people who have, you can say, uteruses or are capable of being pregnant.
Which includes girls.
Which includes girls.
And includes non-binary and
includes
trans men.
non-binary and
that's all the guidance that people pick up on the right to say, like, oh, there's an attack on language. It's just guidance saying, hey, sometimes you might need to say person.
So
wait,
you say both. You could say women. If you want to say girls, you want to say anyone who is, and then if you want to list trans men and non-binary.
And I'm sorry, like, why are you divorcing the form from the act, or the way that it's the tactic that you're saying is being used from the actual value set behind it? The GOP and the Republicans shutting down criticism of the Iraq War is an injustice. People trying to be more inclusive with language in the abortion debate is justice. And so even if I want to concede to you that those things are somehow equivalent, which they're not, or two sides of the same coin, what it is trying to achieve, the outcome, is entirely different. They're actually diametrically opposed. So I don't necessarily care about the tactics or language police if that's what it comes to, or if that's what you're trying to say.